Hey everybody, welcome back to my playthrough of Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. In between the parts, I did a little bit of leveling like I said I would. I was planning to get to about level 12. I got to 14 instead. Um, I completed all of the bestiary um, that I was missing at this point. I got all of the best equipment for my characters, and which currently looks like this. I'll just scroll through here quickly. Well, I guess I missed a copper armlet for the white mage there, but that's okay. And then magic-wise, I got the level 3 spells for the white mage, and I got the level 3 and a couple of the level 4 spells for the black mage. The level 4 spells are 2,500 gil apiece, and I didn't want to be so over-leveled that the game is boring the whole way through, so I kind of just left it right there. Let's go into the castle and see what's going on in this town. We are in Elven Castle. Um, so there's somebody called Astos that put a curse on the prince, from which he cannot awake. They're asking us to save him. I think he's in here. He's sleeping. He's put us under a curse for 5 years now. There must be a concoction, can rouse to sleep, but where? Alright, so basically, there's a sleeping prince here. Maybe we can help save him. So we're going to head towards the first real dungeon of the game at this point. It's called Marsh Cave. It is over towards the east. I just want to make sure that I do have a tent. I do not. I'm going to go buy a tent real quick and maybe a couple more antidotes. I think that there are mobs in this cave that poison, and I did not buy the level 4 poisonous spell yet. So we'll buy a couple ethers in case we need those. Get a tent. And I already have 6. Let's get a couple more. And maybe, I don't know, a handful of potions. This dungeon is one of the harder dungeons in the game just because usually you go into it about 3 or 4 levels lower than I am now. Hopefully we don't have any issues. And we're just going to conserve our magic as we get there, and we're just going to auto all these fights. Considering I do need about 10,000 gil for the remaining spells, level 4 spells that I didn't buy yet, I'm going to try to not flee from any fights unless I have to. And because the level 5 and I believe it's armor in the next town starts to become very expensive, so gil is really the determining factor in when you know whether you can buy all that stuff and how much you need to grind, and I really don't want to have to do any extra grinding outside of just playing through the game at this point. I can't wait until I get the heal stat from the white mage. It'll make this go so much easier. I won't have to worry about stopping to heal anybody at all. She'll just auto-heal every turn without it costing any magic. Alright, so down here is the Marsh Cave. I'm just going to save before we go in, because that cave can be tricky sometimes. I'm going to throw a couple potions on my guys who are low. Alright, so this is the first real dungeon of the game. When we go in, we're going to head north. We're going to fight some new enemies in here. Again, there is one certain enemy that I'm saving all of my spells for, and hopefully we don't fight them a whole bunch. If we see them, I will definitely let everybody know. Otherwise, I'm just going to try to auto my way through. And being a little higher level, my warrior and my thief do a ton of physical damage at this point. They're not blind. Let's see if I have something to cure that. I didn't think about getting eye drops. Oh, it looks like it goes away after battle. That's good. come up here to the stairs, you're going to take them down. That crawler was a new enemy there. The skeletons we fought in the Chaos Shrine at the very beginning of the game, so they should pose little to no threat at this point. Some Echo Grass, I think that gets rid of silence effects. Alright, so now on this floor, there are 3 treasures to get. Let's see if my map can help me out at all. I don't really remember where they are. We're just going to go check out those rooms. There's probably one on each room or something like that. Oh, Bloodbones was a new enemy, but he fleed, so that doesn't count towards our bestiary, so we'll have to try to make sure to get him. Again, you can come back to this cave at any time and try to grind out the bestiary if you need to. Alright, we got a dagger there. I don't think we need that at all. Gargoyles, we got some new enemies here. I think these turn you to stone. They kind of pack a punch too. So, got a couple more levels on most of my characters there. Throw another potion or 2 on the thief, and we will continue on. There's a bat that's in the way. Some more scorpions. Gil, that's always useful. We'll go down to the bottom room. I did not mention it, but there are some achievements to fight monsters, to earn Gil, and things like that, and I did earn them offline. Let me just go through the names of them so everybody knows where we're at. I earned Apprentice Warrior, which is to defeat 100 monsters, Experienced Warrior to defeat 300 monsters, and Thrifty Spender to obtain 10,000 Gil. So here are a bunch of new enemies. We haven't fought either of those oozes or the tarantula, I don't think, but that seemed to work out pretty good. Obviously, this green slime here is very physical resistant. We'll try throwing a fire spell at it and see what it does. I don't know how much HP they have, if it's worth just whittling them down. Nope, there you go. Fire spell seems to take care of it. Let's get a couple of potions on my white mage. And then there are 2 chests here. Alright, so that's all the chests on this floor. Does poison cure itself after battle? It does not. Let me use one of those antidotes that we bought. Okay. And now we're going to head back up towards the beginning of the cave where we came in. And this is why I bought the antidotes. Because they tend to poison the whole team. And as you can see, poison ticks for quite a lot. You obviously don't want to leave that on your characters because it will tick every step outside of combat. This cave isn't that easy, and it's kind of on the longer side. So the gray ooze you can just auto attack. He's weak to physical, but the green one is the one that's weak to magic. So I'm going to head back outside right now at this point. I'm going to give it a safety save here, just so we don't have to go through the part that we already went through, and we were passing the stairs anyway. And I'm also going to use the tent just to recoup the magic that I've used and to get everybody full HP without having to blast through all my potions. Alright, so now I can look at the map and I can show everybody. Well, if I can hit the right button. So that looks like a dead end, and then there in that little room down bottom will be the stairs to go down. So we're going to work our way towards that. from what I remember, this is a longer cave. So, alright, now we are in Marsh Cave B2. Now, there's a bunch of treasure chests to get here. There are 4 rooms to the south, and 3 of them have treasure chests in it. So, I'll just show you on the map. Oh, and luckily we can see which ones those are. So we're going to go to those 3 rooms down there. We're going to grab the treasure chest, and then it looks like the exit is in the bottom right-hand corner. So, let's do that. Oh, green slimes, I need to use fire on these. Maybe I don't need to use fire. Oh, they poison as well. Maybe I will use fire on those just to... let's just give it one more shot. Let's see if we get poisoned every time. Because realistically, if I can get through these fights using just physical attacks and save my magic for the boss, it's a way better scenario for us. Alright, we got a potion there. Guess that's helpful. Broadsword. I want to say I have that equipped. I do. Couple spiders. They really should pose no threat. I guess the worst they can do is poison you at this point. And another potion. So that is all of the treasures on this floor. Through here, and we're going to go down to the next floor. And on the 3rd floor, there are tons of treasures. I believe there are 8 in total, and we're going to fight a mini-boss there as well. So here we're on the 3rd floor. If you look at the map, there's a grid. It's 4x4, I believe. And of course you can't see into this one, that's unfortunate. But there are 7 chests that we can grab. The bottom row of rooms have locked chests that we can't get, so I believe you just have to go to all the other rooms and grab a chest in each one. If I'm reading the guide that I'm looking at correctly. This is something the first time that I played through that took a ridiculously long time. I've left because of deaths, and I don't know what level I was in the original NES version of the game at this point, but I feel like it was much more difficult than it is right now. Maybe they kind of made this version a lot easier of the game, but I remember this cave being something that I spent hours and hours on when I was a kid playing through this the first time. And I could look up a map guide to show exactly where all the treasure chests are, that I just don't remember from through the years, but for the purposes of this video, I'm not going to bother doing that. I'm just going to play the game and make sure that I don't miss anything as we go. And if I get a little over-leveled and a little extra gil, that's not a big deal. We just got the achievement Legendary Warrior. Let me see what that does, or what that's from. That is to defeat 500 enemies. Okay, there's 1,000 gil. It's nice. That's a lot of slimes. I'll use some fire magic here. Oops. This Steam controller doesn't really, it's very light to the touch. Just like put my finger over the button that's hitting it. Do I want to waste a Fira on this? I might as well. Just make sure that it ends this round. I know there are versions of this game where you have mana instead of magic points, the way that we have them here, and you can basically spam your spells, and it is just so much easier. Here you kind of have to conserve your spells. I'll just do it one more time as I talk about conserving spells, and I'm just blasting my Fira away, but it's just not worth getting poisoned over and over again. It's a high potion. Hopefully this battle move out of my way. Oh, of course not. Alright. There's nothing in that room. And this is why I bought those ethers in town, so that I can restore his mana before the boss fight. Oh no, why didn't I use it there? I'm quick to hit that auto battle button. That's something I have to work on. Got a couple levels, that's good. How much mana does he have? He's got 1 Fira left. Okay. Alright, so here we got a potion and a cottage. That's good. Alright, well we'll use the last Fira here, and then I guess I'll use it again. Oh man, it only restores 1. That's tough. Okay. Alright, I will definitely have to stop using my magic at this point then. Copper armlet. I didn't have one here. I'll equip that on the white mage. Ambushed. Let's hope we all don't get poisoned. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna have to save my Fira for these battles. So let's go down to the next row. There. Well, I can use my last Fira here, I guess. This fight might take me a little bit to get through, probably 4 antidotes. That is my last Fira. That's really unfortunate. Alright. Okay, so this room has the mini-boss. So I'm gonna just use some potions to get everybody kind of topped. This is the item that we're here for at this point. And these Pisco demons are difficult. I'm gonna just use a heal spell preemptively. I'm gonna haste my warrior. Yeah, they hurt. So that has not changed in this version of the game. So hasting will double the amount of text that the warrior does. It should basically double his damage. I'm gonna heal one more time, and then if I need to... I will cure someone. I'm not gonna bother hasting the thief at this point, because I'm pretty sure I can knock this down to 2, if not 1 enemy left by next turn. There we go. And at this point we can probably just auto. So these Pisco demons are enemies that I believe you can encounter in this cave as well. And they are very difficult at this early stage. So here we obtained the crown. Okay, there's 2 more rooms here to get 2 more treasures. the 4 rooms on the very bottom all have locked treasure chests in them that we cannot unlock until we get a specific key. So at this point, there's no reason to go down to them. We'll be coming back here. And that's why if we missed any of the bestiary mobs throughout here, I'm not going to sit here and grind, because we will be having another run through this place. As we're a little bit higher leveled, and should be significantly easier at that point. Alright, so we are done with everything we need to do here, so we're ready to head back out. Oh, I should heal. This is my last antidote. And we're just working our way back up to the top so we can exit. Poison at this point. Great. Back on floor 2. I don't know what the equation is, but I think once you're higher level than enemies by a significant amount, they'll start to flee from you. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong on that. So it shows that we're only missing 3 treasures here. They're all in that bottom level. I think I have to go back to this left room up here. I feel like I'm gonna get poisoned here. If I do, I'll have to run back to town. Because now that we have the crown, we have to go take it to the Western Keep. That's the next place that we're going. You could have gone there before you came to this Marsh Cave. It probably would have made a lot more sense story-wise. But there really is no reason to go there. You go into there, and there's someone who says he's the king, and he's missing his crown, and you have to come get it from down here. And that's the whole reason that we're coming to the Marsh Cave. So we're just going to go up there, and we're going to bring this crown and skip that first line of dialogue and all that extra walking. Nice, no one got poisoned. Alright. This is the exit, yes. That crawler is a rare enemy in here. We've got it a bunch of times at this point, so, no big deal. And this is the reason that I got the Diara spell, because I'm out of Fura, and I have a paralyzed warrior. So this will get rid of all the undead enemies for us. Alright. Back to the first floor, and we're just zooming towards the exit. And here we are. Inside the dungeon, we got a cottage, so I'm going to use that. It's going to give us full MP, full HP to the whole party. And I'm going to save and end this part here. In the next part, we're going to go up to that Western Keep, and we're going to talk to the king up there and give him his crown. Thanks for watching. See you in the next part.